listening to Tromedy, the podcast that helps you cope with trauma using comedy. Humor is one of my favorite weapons in my toolbox to fight the powerlessness of trauma. It is not a replacement for trauma therapy. It will help you get by between sessions. Don't get stuck. Don't feel all alone. Listen to Tromedy. Every Tuesday, we launch a new episode. Thanks for tuning in. This week is a little heavy. Child sexual abuse is what we're dealing with this week. And I am not going to make jokes about a child being sexually abused. It's one thing to make fun of your own abuse as a child. I did experience a sexual assault as a 15-year-old. Went to a rodeo with a big bottle of bourbon and my virginity and left with neither. And I can't even get turned on unless I'm hogtied. Okay, folks, that is me coping with my powerlessness over my sexual assault at 15 years old at a rodeo in Warrensburg, Missouri. It was a nightmare. That was a nightmare, but I have to make jokes about it. I can tell you more of the story later if you want to hear it. Just recorded it, but it's too heavy for right now because I got too activated. Taking a deep breath, resetting my parasympathetic nervous system to rest and digest. Everything is good. It's a beautiful day. I'm not there now. I am here standing at my workbench looking at the beautiful sunshine on the leaves of my trees. This week's guest is talking about the assault of her own child, and I think this is every mother's nightmare. This week's guest is sharing resources. I think that's even more important than the humor. There is a little bit of comedy coming on with this, but I want everyone to know that there's a lot of empowerment. This guest offers a lot of information, a lot of resources, and some resource that actually gave me goosebumps because it felt so powerful. I love knowing about some of these resources. Stay tuned and let us know how you're doing out there. If you have suffered child sexual abuse, know that it is never the child's fault. Please love yourselves no matter what, number one, and please make sure you've gotten the help that you need to gain empowerment with trauma therapy and use Tromedy to help between sessions. Welcome to Tromedy. My guest this week is Cat Winston. So we started off with some tapping, doing some nice deep breathing.
Yeah. If you're listening at home, tapping left and right is a way of getting your left and right brain to talk to each other because one is logical and one's emotional. And when we get into our amygdala, which is our fight, flight, freeze, and our PTSD response and our being triggered, that where you hold your breath and your stomach flips. I felt this listening to your podcast. You have to stop and go, oh God, I'm holding my breath, and go.
Yeah, certain points. Certain points when you got triggered. Mm-hmm. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming and talking with me. Absolutely. It's such a gift. What is it you want to share with somebody who might be isolated or might not know there's a resource? Tell me what brought you here.
Okay, so I divorced my first husband very amicably, became a single mom of my own volition, listened to a lot of So What, I'm Still a Rock Star. I was a stripper. I had money. I had a home that had been my family for years. I was renting for my dad, and my kids were great. I had a healthy relationship with my ex-husband. I was like, the world is my fucking oyster, and I'm doing great at comedy. Like, all cards are coming up Cat right now. And I run into this guy that I went to middle school with on Facebook. He messages me. Weird point. My oldest looks almost identical to what I looked like when he first met me.
Okay.
At the age that he assaulted her.
Oh, so he...
Pretty much. Same age range.
He assaulted her at the age he was crushing on you in middle school.
Yeah. That was always a twisted part in my head because I knew he knew me when I was that age. And so it was really confusing when this all came out. So anyway, my oldest was in high school, was 15, which would have made my son 10. I'd gotten remarried to this guy that I knew in middle school.
Your middle school.
Former cop, former Navy veteran.
Were you sweethearts?
3 kids of his own.
Were you sweethearts in middle school?
No.
Just kind of knew each other.
I had a crush on all the skater boys because they were the rebels, you know. I didn't want a preppy guy who followed the rules. I wanted to bring home a bad boy and piss my parents off.
Oh, okay.
And he fit the bill. So did 16 others.
Oh, so he was a skater dude?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But you guys were not sweethearts. You did not.
We dated for like a breath.
Oh, so you did date?
Yeah.
Okay. You were at some point.
Yeah. He tried to do something more a summer after one of the summers in high school. And I managed to sort of finagle my way out of that one. But I ended up marrying him on April 22nd. So we got married on June 18th, Sir Paul McCartney's birthday. That's what it is to me now, which it's his birthday. If you want to look this up on the National Sex Offender Registry, that was June 18th, 1982. Stay safe out there. He's getting off probation next month.
So
we thought we had till January.
So you're feeling unsafe now because he's getting off probation.
This is why I really wanted to be here, because I love and respect you as a comic. And that's twofold because of hearing my husband talk about you so respectfully and so fondly of your accomplishments and your integrity and how authentic you are and how much he really enjoys you as a human. Then listening to the podcast and hearing people I know talk about their stuff. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, she's doing it. She's taking the George Carlin joke. You can't joke about rape. Rape's not funny. Bullshit. Picture Porky Pig raping Elmore Fudd. And my knee-jerk reaction to that joke is, please don't talk about rape. But I love Carlin. And so I feel that like that's what you're doing. You're taking the trauma. So tragedy plus time equals Tromedy.
Yeah. And
Tromedy.
Well, Tromedy, it's not just tragedy plus time for me. It's also concentric circles away from the actual event. Yeah. So like with my friend Heather, who's my first guest and the inspiration for Tromedy, we took it's not necessarily about the time, but it was also about like, okay, maybe we're not going to make a joke right on the nose. And some people might. Yeah. And the reason we're here today is to tell people you're not alone out there.
I fell apart so bad after my oldest. She was my daughter at the time. They are they, them now. Mm-hmm. So if I screw up my pronouns, I'm sorry, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I saw a meme that said I'd rather change my pronouns 1,000 times than write my kid's obituary. And I thought that was so powerful.
That's beautiful.
So that's all I'm doing. I changed baby girl because I'd say, baby girl, who broke your heart? I'll break their pinkies.
Oh, mama bear energy.
Yeah. And so now I say baby they.
So this husband that you met
years ago. So I felt safe and comfortable. He was a former cop. Basically, my oldest disclosed to me within 24 hours, which is unheard of. So we had DNA. And after everything was said and done.
How long into the marriage did he act out on her?
He was grooming from the word go. There were things that happened that were non-consensual in our marriage.
If you haven't listened to Cody Spiker's episode, it is so good. And she's talking about what it means to give full consent.
Yeah.
And she wants to be a consent coach. And I really do.
That's a job everyone should.
Well, it's just something that
we need those.
I think that men, the movies reinforce that you have to coerce women and all that.
I'll explain this part of the timing because it's something that as a mother of a survivor, it's very haunting because as a mom, your whole identity is kind of built on this crux that you will protect your children. And that gets completely stripped of you when the person that you married and you trusted with your children, that you thought this was like, oh, they have these inside jokes. They go on motorcycle rides together. April 23rd, he was about to go pick her up from school. He was going to pick them up from school.
Okay.
Alone.
So your husband at the time, the guy you met in middle school, was going to pick up your child from school.
High school.
From high school.
And I got a call from the local police department saying, we have your kid. Don't tell him. Make something up and come to the station. Did your gut just go?
Yeah, that would be terrifying.
That's a 5-minute drive. And in my head, I'm already sorting out. He did something. If they said, don't tell your husband, and they have something happened. Really? So I'm already going into it thinking I'm dreading. I walk in and here's this beautiful human that changed my whole world. Had them at 17. Because you have a kid, they're your whole world. They're an extension of your soul walking around on planet Earth. They were sitting there and the sergeant slid the witness statement across the table to me, and I read the first couple lines, got the gist of it, and I just completely collapsed on them and hugged her and told her I was so sorry. Because I had started standing up to him about 2 months before that with the help of my therapist, saying, you need to get help. You're a sex addict. I'm no longer going to give in to all of your verbal pressure, I'm going to say no. And after 2 months of saying no, he went into the next bedroom.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
He fondled her and kissed her. And she was able to, I think she was she then. They were fawning. They froze. I trust him. He can't be doing this. The shock of that moment. They slid away. And so he didn't have penetration. And then the next day, my kid was very out of sorts, and her close friend, best friend, and boyfriend noticed, and she told them what happened and said, I think I'm just going to run away. I don't want to blow up my mom's life. She's so happy.
Oh my gosh.
She finally got her happily ever after, and I'm going to ruin it. And no one will believe me. They'll believe him.
Bless her heart that she felt like that she had to
Everyone,
sacrifice herself.
Please hold some space for the person in your life when they disclose, because I sure as hell wish I could go back and do that. But I drank so heavily for like 5 years. I couldn't climb into a bottle far enough to numb out the feeling of failing my kid, to the point that I had a suicide attempt.
How did she get the courage to come forward? Did someone at school help her? Her boyfriend?
Let's all be a Felicity to someone. Her best friend Felicity. Shout out Felicity.
So she was her confidant.
Yeah, her best
and she
friend.
Said, "Oh my God,
she said I'm going to run away.
My stepfather came into my bedroom and sexually assaulted me. I think I'm going to leave so my mom's life doesn't blow up." And
she grabbed her by the arm, drug her down to the principal's office, to the police officer, the resource officer in the school, and made her tell and said, I will. So at the time, so they had a class together, and my kid, Felicity, knew what was going on. And Felicity was in her power enough to go, nope. And so my kid tried to put it off and go, okay, we'll go after this class. She's just trying to put off this.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with this. Shut it down. Right. And Felicity wouldn't stand for it. She raised her hand in the middle of class to the teacher and said, we have to go. Grabbed their arm and walked with them. The power of picture those two girls outlines.
I love that. Let's be allies for
Let's be a Felicity to someone. Be able to help them when they're frozen and hurting.
Right.
Hold space and stand next to them. And if you have
absolutely. And that's where we need a
brave
friend. That's part of this podcast, is to be your friend that says, you don't have to put up with that. And also the gaslighting, I'm hoping to show how people gaslight. And there's always 10% of truth or more in it. Mm-hmm. So it's very confusing. And so this friend said no and took her to the principal's office. Yeah. The principal then called the police.
The school resource officer. So it's a
school. He's a cop.
So that's how they got to the police station before me. As far as I knew, they were at school until that phone call.
Okay.
And so
I'm so grateful for that friend, for that principal, for that school resource officer. And again, I know we like to give cops a hard time.
Oh, there were bad ones in this story. But there are good ones too.
There are good cops. Yeah. There are good cops. And my son wants to be a good cop.
Oh,
in fact, he wants to be a school resource officer because I think he felt supported, although I think they've gotten rid of him in some districts. But anyway, the point is, it is complicated. So then you find this out, and how do you go into action for your daughter, or what happened for you in that moment when you read that and you just said, I'm so sorry to your daughter? And then how did you get him out of the house?
I'd like to ask the listener at home in this next part, because to hold a little space or grace. Everybody likes to say, oh, if anyone ever did that to my kid, I'd kill him. So that's the first thing that ran through my head. I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
I'm going to end him.
Yeah.
He has guns. I will use the gun he bought me to end him.
Mm-hmm.
He just psychologically killed what I made with my womb. He wounded in a way I can't fix. I can never take it back. I let you in my front door, and this is what you did.
I'm holding space for you.
Thank you. In talking to other trauma survivors, I think losing a child and having this happen to your child, I bet there's some trauma overlap on what you feel as a mother.
Of course, that powerlessness.
I can't fix it. I can't take it back. I can't
powerlessness
protect them. I can't.
Yeah, when that's your primal thing, is to protect, and that powerlessness.
And that's what set off in that moment.
But you did protect her, right? What happened? What
he
happened?
gaslit the detective. I actually just read through the transcripts because so my oldest was so brave and powerful to be able to take ownership of that story, because they could have just as easily been like, I don't know what my best friend's talking about. She's cuckoo Cocoa Puffs. It's a joke. I wasn't serious. It didn't happen. But they followed through. They did fill out the statement and do everything they needed to do. We went out and did a SANE exam, and they had an escort. He was asked to come down for questioning. I just read that transcript. I was like, oh my God, he's gaslighting the cop, and the cop doesn't even know it. Oh my God. So icky. He was setting things up for a defense. They left him alone for an hour and 15 minutes. That was enough time for him to do laundry, which he never did. So he was able to take some forensic countermeasures.
So he tried to clear the bed that he was in with her.
The yoga pants and the t-shirt. So imagine what a teenager's room looks like. There's clothes all over the floor, right? Looks like the closet threw up for a lot of teenagers.
Sure.
That look was her motif.
So, but he did laundry.
He went and grabbed just those two things.
Oh.
Only the things that they were wearing, and put them in the laundry.
Okay. Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah.
So that's all in the evidence.
He's covering his tracks.
Yeah. And then 10 months later, when the DNA had come back, so the DA offered a plea bargain without telling us. So our hands were tied because the district attorney is the one prosecuting it. I don't have a say. And the DA had offered a plea bargain to try to avoid going to court, re-traumatizing my kid and me. And he took it after the DNA came back positive.
DNA
He
from what?
adamantly denied it. Her bra and her panties, she was still wearing them from the night before.
Gotcha, motherfucker.
She did. Because she came forward so fast. She was
I just want to say thank you to your child.
Yes.
Thank you for your bravery. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, Mama.
Yeah.
And you stood by your child.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
I mean,
the point that I made a Facebook video.
That was so cool.
And it went viral. It has like over 200 million views. And
even though I get that felt powerless, that you didn't prevent it, but you didn't let it go any farther. Do you know how many?
I got the last word.
Yeah.
In a big way. I potentially protected other people from not realizing what he was.
And yes. And because my ex-boyfriend, who...
We're coming back around, kids. Here we go.
We are going to act out. I mean, he was a voyeur, and he voyeured his stepdaughter for 2 years. Spied on her. And then he got caught. And then his wife stayed with him for 10 more years.
That's really common.
And never, ever did the police, like the therapist let him down, and me, the therapist.
He found his way through the cracks.
He found his way through the system. He's wealthy.
With help of his wife.
And the help of his wife, who's very wealthy. Like, I mean, very wealthy.
Oh, honey, money, power come into play big time.
And she didn't want her name in any record, and she didn't want her child's name in any record. And therefore, she kicked that shit down the curb to me. And then I invited this person into my life, and I also got gaslit by his own therapist, who don't see a sociopath when they know one. They're very good.
Oh, they're amazing.
Therapists do not see them.
Amazing.
And when sociopaths go to therapy, they actually get more empowered. Anyway, I'm getting
they tricked the system.
I'm getting activated.
So let's tell you the Gala story. So we leave you on a happy
but before
healing moment.
But before the Gala story, what you did, you went to the police. You followed through.
They went to the police.
They went to the.
I came to the police 2 years later, and because of the bravery of my child, said I was sexually assaulted too.
Oh,
before he made it that far,
okay,
there was non-consensual. That
marital sex,
marital rape.
Non-consensual and marital rape, and so you also prosecuted him for that.
The police refused to prosecute because the DA said the case would never make it. It would get thrown out by a judge because it would be seen as I made that up to get revenge.
But you did your part, and you did all you could, and then you were it was out of your hands whether they felt like they could convict or not. But so you did your part, though. You spoke your truth, and
on
that's
a very 200 million, everything but Russia, China, and I think North Korea because of different internet.
Yeah, so you got the word out on a video
globally.
We'll put
predominantly features his face in case you want to protect your kiddos. So, check the sex offender registry. Yeah,
check the sex offender. That's something for women to do always, or people, not just women, but all people.
Thing,
check your.
Do you know what you do when have you ever checked it?
Especially if you have a child. You know what? I want to get coached on this. Tell me how to check the sex offender registry.
All right. Listeners at home, this is how you check your sex offender registry.
This is good
to
stuff.
Protect your kids. Stranger dangers bullshit. It's very to violate a kid the way mine was. It took grooming. It took work.
Yep.
To push her into that corner and prey on her, have that predator energy. So what you want to do is you want to put names in. teachers, coaches. Don't assume that all the safety nets are working for you.
Okay.
Neighbors, anyone who has access to your children.
Okay.
Your boyfriend, your cousin, your grandpa, I don't give a fuck.
So put their name in, but
put their name in. And
where do you go to? How do you get
there's
to
a National Sex Offender Registry.
You just go to, it's a national.
Go to that.
It's national.
And you can put in your parameters. So you would put, let's say if you're in Maryland, you would put in, your city as the parameters and put in the names of the people. And if they don't pop, that means they're not a registered sex offender. That's how the registry can actually work the best for you.
Okay.
Don't be worried about the guy who's living 3 doors down from you, unless he's hanging out with your kid.
Yeah.
If he's suddenly gotten real friendly and wants him to mow his lawn and is like, if they're interacting, then you need to be aware.
Okay. Anyone that's interacting with your minor.
Anyone who's interacting with your minor that has a record, that's why that sex offender registry exists, is to try to keep people from reoffending by giving the knowledge and the power back to potential victims. So
thank you for sharing that.
I wish I had known that before, but even then it wouldn't have pinged.
All right.
Until what my kid did got his records scratched. So the story I want to end talking to you today with is the video went viral, which is super weird. Like, that's a fucked up thing to be famous for. Like, I share cat videos. I wouldn't share something as dark and scary as the video I made, but it is to help protect people.
Yeah.
So it went viral. I got to talk to a lot of other mothers of victims and find out I wasn't alone in my drinking, in my
how you were pain management.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mismanagement. I manage now much healthier ways, but at the time I didn't know those tools. So I did the best with what I had. I'm holding space for that version of myself. This is funny. So the national media, I get a call from the Associated Press. And my phone at that time, because Fuckface and I split, was I was on my mom's plan. So the last name didn't match any of the last names. And the Associated Press found my phone number, my cell phone, and called me to get comment. So it went 5,000, 5 million, 25 million, 50 million. Pretty soon the press is knocking on your door. 9 News, Fox News, Dr. Drew. You're like, what the, what? Okay, I guess we're having this conversation. So the last one to catch on is my local paper in Loveland. The Reporter Herald, 2 weeks after the video went viral, knocks on my door. It's been all like in Turkey, in newspapers in Turkey, before my hometown paper figured out it was Loveland mom viral video. Dipshits. Hi. So they came in and someone slipped that article underneath the door of a lovely woman who started an organization called the Colorado Women of Influence. So it's women who are brave leaders in business, and they want to network with other successful women and talk about ambition and all that. So every year, the Colorado Women of Influence hold a gala. I have to say it like that because it's very fancy and I'm not. It's a gala.
But like a black tie gala.
And they honor 12 women.
I'm from the Ozarks. Gala.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Gala. So I had to get into a gown with my tattoos and my can-do attitude and go to this gala to receive an award for my bravery. And I was like, fuck that shit. Like, the whole time I was correcting the media, they were like, you're so brave. I'm like, no, I'm not. My kid is brave. My kid was really honest. I just amplified the volume on it.
That's great.
That's their story.
So you got the word out, and then you got recognized at the gala.
The gala, and they played a little snippet. I had to do like a little interview. And
was your daughter there too, or your child?
And my mom. I had a whole table of some other survivors and friends that had been through that first year with me, which please have patience and space for people when they're in that first year. It's raw. It's rough.
Oh, I know.
Hurt people, and you're hurting the worst you've ever hurt in your life.
I know. So, it is so hard.
So we go to the gala, and I'm immediately intimidated. These are all, I didn't even get an associate's degree. Like, I don't know, master's. I don't have my own business. I am not even working because I'm not functioning still. I'm surviving because my dad owns the house I live in, and my mom is keeping the lights on.
Yeah.
Because I'm so broken. And I feel so bad for the version of me my kids got at that time. But anyway, so we're at this gala, and I know I'm getting that award. That's why I'm there.
Yeah.
One of 12 women. Then they hit me with, there's also stuff on the, what do they call those? It's not a brochure or a ballot. It's a thing that tells you the events of the evening.
Yeah. What is that called?
So
it's sort of like the program.
There's like a science scholarship, and I didn't know about that stuff. I just knew the 12 Women of Vision Gala. I was one of the 12 that year. They pick 12 every year. So I knew that. And then they go, and now for our Women of Courage Award. When we interviewed this woman, she said, scream until someone listens. And I looked at my mom and my kid. I go, it's me. It's like, shit. And I gave my kid the option. I said, you can come up on stage with me. You can stay at the table. You can go to the parking lot and sit in the car. I don't care. I'll call you a cab. Whatever you're comfortable with for this gala, because I'm feeling socially awkward in this moment. We're going to be in a room full of people who know the deepest, darkest of our shit. So they came up with me, and there's this moment. So everyone in the room, you have to picture this. It's at the Fort Collins Hilton. There's 250 strangers in their best attire, and they are on their feet in a standing ovation for my kid. And I'm standing right next to her, all that applause and energy. Comics know what that feels like when you have a big home run. The feeling of having a group of people on the same page at the same time is so beautiful. And we were standing there, and I grabbed their hand and just...
Yeah.
And there's a picture of that on my Facebook. It's one of my favorite pictures. I think every victim deserves that moment to be really cherished and told, I'm so proud of you for being so brave.
Yeah.
And she got that in so many ways. They did. And so that was amazing. That was like top 10 moments as a mother. Like I got loud and it gave you this. You got to have the moment of strangers saying,
so that's how you took
undeniably,
your power.
You're brave.
That's how you got that.
We're with you, standing out.
That you did get your power back.
I did.
And you got it back for her, with her.
Yeah.
But she was the person who lit the fire. Yeah. And then
she got me brave enough.
Then you fanned the fire. And then people responded to that.
Very strongly, yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And so I actually went on to get my victims advocacy certification. And because I was having so many interactions where people going, well, how did you get through it?
Yeah.
What resources are available?
And that's what this is about, the peer-to-peer sharing.
Yeah.
We don't have to be an expert, although the training is helpful.
Yeah.
And then...
it gives you access to more resources that the civilian who hasn't experienced trauma doesn't just speak trauma or instinctively know where to go.
And like understand, like you said, the compassion for yourself.
I tried Googling. I was like, mother of, victim of, like there wasn't. Yeah, I'm a secondary victim of that crime. I found out is the term, which sounds very diminishing to me. Given what kind of hurt I took on, it feels like you're an afterthought. Even in the sense that Victims Comp gave her 20 sessions, which is stupid, but they gave me 3. In 3 hours, they thought, get over. That's enough time for you to be over your husband cheating on you with your kid, and now you're on the verge of being homeless, which I did lose that house, which was our family home. But yeah,
I understand how that feels for you, but it doesn't mean that it's a less than trauma.
And it's not comparative. Because I told everyone in my life what happened. It was like I was happy in love one minute, and the next minute, where's my husband?
Right.
Well, so I told everybody, I was like, I'm not taking the fault for this. This is what happened.
You know, there probably were some signs, and there probably...
Oh, definitely.
You know,
once I learned about narcissists and grooming, I can go, oh my God.
Yeah. And also just, when did I lie to myself? That's what I was asking myself. And when did I look to other people to reinforce the truth I wanted there to be?
So these are the resources that help my family. Child Safe is a local organization to Northern Colorado.
Okay, Child Safe.
They're amazing.
Okay.
Core Defense is another local to Northern Colorado. That's trauma-informed Krav Maga. So they don't trigger you while they train you.
Okay, so if you can find these nationally, you're doing trauma-informed Krav Maga.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
It's so empowering.
When my son was victimized by a crazy man in Boulder who jumped out of his car and choked him, he ended up going to Krav Maga. And it was like, Mom, I got to take... That was his first impulse. I've got to take self-defense. So what's other...
and the last one is BACA, which is a national and international organization. It's called Bikers Against Child Abuse.
Oh,
they're in 48 states and 9 countries.
Oh,
fact check me on that.
Bikers Against Child Abuse.
So here's what they do.
Don't mess with a biker.
Yeah, they create this bridge. So like if he had driven by our house, I would have called the police. They would have come out. They would have said, well, he's not here now. Call us a gate. And they would have left. The bikers come. They do a perimeter check of your house. They will come and if you feel threatened for any reason, even if your kid just has a nightmare, they will send people to stand out all night to physically stand between your kid and a predator to make them feel safe. They came with her to court. BACA does the best work.
Give it up for BACA. Oh, I'm so impressed. I never knew of that. Thank you for sharing that.
They're so incredible. They take such good care of the kids. Oh, man.
And I know we didn't really get much Tromedy in here about your event. You know what I mean? Like, is there anything around it that you laugh about? Is there anything that you laugh about?
Can I tell you the joke that was supposed to be the recurring joke?
Oh.
I should have opened with. Should have opened with that. I'm having sad regret.
Well,
my husband said this to me the other day, and this is kind of poignant and beautiful. He doesn't see fuckface as the boogeyman that's terrifying. I do.
Right.
And so he's just like, whatever, let him come at us. Cause he's like old school Oklahoma farm boy. He's like, fuck around and find out. I would
never mess with your husband.
Yeah.
No.
He's not one you want to fuck around and find out.
Oh no.
So that's his response is like, why are you even afraid? Like, why do you want to get security cameras? Why are you scared? And I'm like, because I have a different experience with this individual than you do.
Right.
So our rent is going up in September. Neither of us are happy about it. He's getting off probation, and the protection order goes away with that in the beginning of August when we're taping this, July 22nd.
Okay.
So I have a matter of about a week before he's
off probation.
Off probation. No one's watching him
I can imagine
anymore.
that you're really activated about that.
Yeah.
I would be.
So I'm going to try to get my protection order to extend, which probably won't happen, but I'm going to try. My husband goes, well, if he kills us in August, rent doesn't go up. And I was like, this is why I fucking married you.
Yeah.
You're dark and twisty, and your spirit is so in line with my future versions of myself.
Win-win.
Yes.
Win-win. If we die in August, our rent doesn't go up.
We win.
That's fun.
That's the TMT. Trauma therapy,
that's brilliant.
Mushrooms, and my husband. That's Tobias. TMT. That's my powerhouse punch that has taken me out of a place of being stuck. Those are the tools that have brought me to a new version of my life and myself and awareness.
Yeah.
To go, I can hold space for me for being drunk and hurt and wounded. I can hold accountability too, though, for what that woman did, or didn't do,
and that's for you to figure that out, you know. But yes, you can acknowledge, and
it's between me and my amends.
Yep, you can figure that out, how to make amends and how to do a living amends, which is to not do that now.
Yeah,
and I love that you brought a lot of comfort tools with you.
I got a little Care Bear, koosh ball.
And that I hope today that you take care of yourself. And
I have Krav Maga tomorrow, so
be very well.
I timed this.
Where you can express it, but you can also get it out, but also be very gentle with yourself.
Yeah.
We're all doing our best.
Yep.
That is the God's honest truth.
Yeah.
And I know even the sociopaths, but we don't have to be around them.
So for me, the future comedy, look for Cat Winston.
Yeah.
For my advocacy work, if you want more resources for sexual assault survivors, specifically being able to open up to someone or say, how do I get through this? That would be Catherine Livingston.
My favorite thing right now is this BACA. I want to do a little homework on that.
Oh, honey, yeah,
that's really cool. That feels
the best people.
It makes me feel really safe to know they're out there. Yeah. So I just love that feeling.
So they come to your house. They allot 2 people to you, and when they first, it's like a biker gang. They initiate your kids. They get a cut and they get a ride. They pick which bike and which helmet. And they go on a ride with 30 bikers.
Wow.
And they come back and they have a stuffed animal. They ask you in advance, what kind of things do your kids like? And they include my son too.
Wow.
Another secondary
So you
victim.
you had them come to your house?
Yeah. Oh yeah. My kids are BACA kids for life, and it is for life, not just when court ends. They can call BACA at any time.
Wow.
For the rest of their life, and they'll show up.
Wow.
So they get their cuts, and the bikers take a stuffed animal.
What is their cuts?
A cut is like when you see the leather with the name like vice president or...
I'm ignorant of
biker
the whole
gang
system.
stuff.
I don't know anything about biker gang stuff, but that's called their cuts.
Yeah, their cut is when they get little jean jackets that say BACA and their code names on them.
Oh.
And then they took a stuffed animal and through 35 bikers. And you get a federal background check, and you have to wait a year before you can become part of BACA for obvious reasons.
That's
They
good to
took
know.
a stuffed animal, and between 2 bikers, they hugged it in between their chests. And then they turn to the next person next to them and they hug it again. And it goes through 35 people, and then they hand it to your kids and they say, if you need it refilled, we'll come back. Just say.
Oh my God.
They came with her to court and they stood between her. I couldn't even see my kid at court when they were doing their victim MCAT statement because there was a wall of leather protecting them.
I have goosebumps all over. I love these people.
I got you laugh. You got goosebumps. We're done. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Follow Nancy Norton. This is an amazing tool.
Thanks, Cat Winston. And we'll see you out there doing the Tromedy comedy.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye. I'd like to thank my guest, Cat Winston. Thank you for sharing your vulnerable truth. You can read Cat's blog, The Invisible Victim. See the show notes for that link to that blog. Please see the show notes for resources that were mentioned on the podcast for BACA, and especially watch the Facebook video that went viral and got 200 million views, is now on YouTube. Check the Sex Offender Registry, which I'll put a link to. I'd also like to give a huge hug and thank you for your courage to Cat's child who came forward with the help of their friend. Thank you for doing that. I hope that you feel empowered and loved and know that it was not your fault. If you have suffered child sexual abuse, know that it is never the child's fault. Tune in next week. My guest will be a licensed professional counselor who treats sex offenders and will give us some information about how to keep you and your family safe and also how to treat sex offenders. There is a way to stop. There is a way to get help. So tune in next week. And reach out if you have any questions to me, nancynorton.tv. That's www.nancynorton.tv. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. And remember, keep laughing. No matter what, you have to keep laughing. Have your feelings, do your trauma therapy. But remember, humor's there for you when you need to get a little more perspective, take a break, and gain some empowerment. Peace and love. Have a great week.